Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. So do pork spare ribs marinated in buttermilk taste any better than ones that are smoked normally? Let's find out. Money all day. All right, so I had buttermilk on the mind, and while I was planning a cook this weekend on some pork spare ribs, I said, why not try marinating some pork spare ribs in some buttermilk? So we got 3 racks we're gonna do, but I'm only gonna marinate 1. That way we can have some standard spare ribs and see how those taste compared to the ones marinated in buttermilk. Let's go ahead and get this buttermilk marinade going. So what my plan is let's do about 4 cups of buttermilk. There we go. I'm gonna do about 1 cup of honey. I don't want to add too much of anything else to this marinade that's not gonna go into the other ribs. That way it's fair. There will be honey later on with these racks as well as the other racks. That's about 1 cup, just eyeballing it. Let's whisk this together. Buttermilk has a lower pH level, still some acidity to it. It is used quite a bit to tenderize meat, chicken. I never heard of marinating spare ribs in buttermilk, and I just came up with a brilliant idea this past week. I said, hey, what can I try different and test out? Buttermilk came to mind, so we're gonna try it. I have no clue if the ribs will be any more tender, will taste any differently, but it's a fun test. We're gonna have good ribs regardless. The only thing that will be done differently with these ribs is the marinade. That's it. They will be cooked exactly the same as the other 2 racks. So all I'm gonna do, put this in here. Just like this. Make sure we get these ribs nice and coated. Let's close this up. Get the air out. So that's it. Very simple, very easy. I was thinking about adding some cayenne, maybe some onion powder, garlic powder, but I don't want to add anything different other than the buttermilk into this marinade that's not going to go into the other ribs. That way it's a fair test. And this is it. This is going to sit overnight. It is 3:40. I plan to hopefully start cooking around 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think it'll be about an 18-hour marinade. Let's go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, welcome back to Sunday morning. Beautiful day here in Colorado. It is 9 o'clock. I took these out of the refrigerator, I don't know, about 30 minutes ago. They've been soaking all night. Never have I done this before. Take these out, and we're gonna dry these off. Okay, so we have these all dried off now. So we are gonna put a little bit of mustard on here as a slather. Didn't need to, but I wanna keep everything the same except for their marinade and buttermilk. So we're gonna go ahead and, today, we are using Kansas City Sweet Barbecue Rub. I tasted that this morning. First meal of the day. It's still on my tongue. Tastes really good. It is a sweet rub. goes well with pork to begin with. Yeah, the mustard won't impart flavor like you would probably think. It's just a binder. Don't really need it. Like I said, these are wet enough, but I just want to keep everything the same. That way, truly, we know how things taste. And the texture of this is marinated in buttermilk versus the others over here that were not basted or were not marinated. Okay. And these have already been prepped yesterday. They just sat in the refrigerator with some foil over the top of them. There was no marinating at all. Just your typical spare ribs right out of the package. So what I'm anticipating is about 5.5 to 6 hour cook on these. I'm going low this time. Going at 225 on the smoke. What I anticipate is cook these until the rub does not come off, that it's quite set. That's probably going to be around that 3.5 hour mark. Once we're done with that, then I will wrap these in foil along with some butter, some honey, and some brown sugar. Add a little bit more sweetness to it, as well as more of that flavor. All right, so these are ready to get onto the grill. Let me rinse my hands off here, and we'll take these outside, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, so the Recteq up to temp. We're gonna put our baseline ribs towards the end here. Make sure they're all nice and scrunched and not stretched out completely. On these Recteqs, you have to be careful where you place your meat, because right here, this gap here and the gap in the back, that's where a lot of that heat will come up. So the way I'm looking at this, these ribs are fitting just perfectly. And if anything, maybe the ends of these are get a little bit more cooked than others. I'm gonna put the buttermilk on the very end, closest to the water pan. Other than that, there we go. We're gonna go ahead and shut the lid on this thing, let it cook at 225, get some great smoke on there, and we'll check back on these in about 3 hours. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how those ribs felt after they came out of the marinade. They were extremely soft, very tender, but that's as expected, since buttermilk is lightly acidic, and that's doing its job, it's tenderizing. So the second thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is this Smokebox. I know I was very curious about this on videos. Right now I'm running at 225. So if you want to come over here, take a look. We have this set at 225. If we look at the Smokebox, we are running at about 175 right now on the top part. And if we come down here, we're running at 125. All right, so when I will smoke sausages and stuff, I'll take these 2 racks out right here. Actually, all 3 racks come out. I'm gonna have a wooden dowel that goes across. I'll be able to hang my sausages on. So there is a low setting on here. I have yet to test that out and see what the temperature is in the Smokebox, but that'll be great for cold smoking. So anyways, we're gonna let these ribs sit on here for the next couple hours, and I'll see you in just a few seconds. All right, so it's been 3 hours. Let's take a look. There we go. We're gonna spritz these. That's with that apple cider vinegar, along with some maple syrup with that. So we're gonna spritz these. These have been on at 225. And I'm gonna bump the temperature up now to 275. We have a storm coming in. And we're gonna let these rock for about another 45 minutes at 275. Okay, so it's been 3 hours and 45 minutes on this cook. Let's take a look and see where we're at. Oh, there we go. We definitely have a little bit of pullback. I think it's about time to wrap these. Okay, so after I got a bit of things done inside, it's been total 4 hours now. Let's pull these off. This is the one that was marinated in buttermilk. I mean, look at that. You can tell that's really tender, really juicy, so we'll put that here. Oh, those are nice too. Not near as soft as the marinated one. And these are hot. I'm just wearing cotton gloves underneath, so there we go. Those look good. Okay, let's take those inside and wrap them. Okay, so let's get these wrapped. We're gonna do the same thing we did the other weekend. We're gonna do 4 cubes of butter. It's 4 tablespoons. We finished out our barbecue sauce. These are the 2 that we mixed together. That will go on top of the ribs as well, and in here. Let's do some honey. Some wonderful honey. And we'll do some brown sugar. Once again, I mixed both of those raspberry chipotle and original from Blue Hog. And I reduced it just with water. Same procedure as we did last week when we made the other ribs. So we will take these out. Those aren't near as big, but we'll go like this. There we go. Cut the back of these. Let's wrap these up. Got to be careful of the bone. And the same procedure for the next 2. And once I'm done with that, we'll put them back on the grill and let it go probably for another hour. We'll check them. We're cooking them to fill. Could go another hour and a half, we will see. So we'll check back with you in just a minute. Okay, so it's time to check this. It's been about 5 hours, 5.5 hours, I believe. All right, let's see. This is buttermilk. Oh yeah. Look at the flop on this. And that is very hot. Nice flop. Nice flop. So let's foil both these. We're gonna remove the water pan so I have some room. That is hot water. We have some corn in there. So let's do some foil boating. Ooh, that's a lot of juice that came into this one. That was the buttermilk. Look at how much juice was in there too. So we've got to flip these over. There was a lot of moisture in that. Okay. There we go. We're gonna let these sit in a foil boat for about 15 to 20 minutes. Give the sauce a chance to set, and we'll bring them in, let them rest, cut them, and then taste them. Really looking forward to seeing how the buttermilk ribs compare to the normal ribs. See you in just a minute. All right, so we brought them in. This right here, this is the rack of ribs that we marinated in buttermilk, and these are the 2 standard ones. Everything was cooked exactly the same. Only thing is these were marinated in buttermilk for 17 plus hours. So let's cut these open, but before we do that, listen to this. I love that. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna cut right here in the middle. Ooh, this smells fantastic. Let's take a look. There we go. Those look really good. Smoke has penetrated quite well right through here, right down on the bottom. Time to take a, let's pull out the next rack so I can cut from the middle as well. These are the ones that weren't. They look fantastic. Okay, so let's take a bite. Good. Money all day. So those were marinated in buttermilk. Tastes fantastic. These are normal. Let's see what these taste like. Those are fantastic as well. And to be honest, I can't taste the difference between the two, which is kind of what I was expecting. And I'm actually pleasantly surprised. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut everything up. We're going to break bread with our friend and have a couple of different taste testers tell me what they think as well. So we'll see you at the dinner table. Okay, so we've finished cutting everything up, but huge props to friend of the family, Jeremy Joel, for actually fabricating this cutting board with our Life with the Villamores logo. Put it to good use. This is the absolute first use of it. And I want to say thank you very much, Jeremy. I really appreciate that. So now it's time to go eat.
Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We got our friend Shannon here. And Shannon and I are going to be the testers today. So let's get to it. We're going to try the first, the one marinated in buttermilk. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Cheers. Cheers. Oh my god. Oh my god. What do you think?
Unbelievably delicious.
Unbelievably,
Yes.
huh? Mm-hmm. No?
Oh, delicious.
Real quick for the camera. Let's give it a try. It was the ones which are not marinated in buttermilk. Let's see if there's a difference.
Okay. My gosh.
Well, I would say the ones marinated in buttermilk are a little sweeter.
Mm-hmm. It's sweeter and I think a little more tender.
A little more tender. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You think so?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. The ones without buttermilk are still, I mean, they're part
Still
of the
delicious,
bone.
yeah.
Delicious. But I think the ones in buttermilk are more tender and more fall of the bone.
Well, I'll have to reevaluate myself.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I can tell you we put a hurtin' on those ribs. All three of us. I mean, let me tell you, tummies are full and we are very rib happy. The one thing I will say is that I did notice that on the marinated ribs from the buttermilk, some of the ribs tasted a bit more tender, but the ladies felt like the marinated ribs were much more tender than the other two racks. I will go with the ladies on that one. So the buttermilk can make a difference. Give it a try, and if you do, let me know how it turned out for you, because I'd love to hear about it in the comment section, okay? So with that said, we really appreciate everybody out there, and as always, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. And to all our friends and family out there, peace.